I think throughout my life of playing games for fun and for analysis, Dustborn might be the first game I ever tried that I could say that I can't review. When playing games of any sort, there's two sides to doing these kind of things. Is the game any good? If so, then I'll try my hardest to show off why the game's fun or just good to begin with, alongside throwing aside my own kind of critiques if there's anything wrong with the game to begin with. Is the game bad? If so, then I'll try to explain why I think so, and even then, maybe show some good sides to the whole thing if I see any good glimpses of it. Dustborn, on the other hand, is neither of these things, and more so, in brutal honesty, it might be the first game I ever played in a while that made me feel uncomfortable in some form of way. It made me, alongside my friends watching me play the game, to just call it quits and toss the towel after like an hour or two of going through the game's motions. And thankfully, we did, because this game is a nothing burger, to be brutally honest. To this day, I think the demo was a bigger impact to how the game was going to be, rather than even trying out the full version. Because trust me, the demo made it seem way more fast-paced than what the actual game was going to be. And speaking of, let's talk about the demo, as it could be one of the worst ones I think I ever played. Especially when it comes to trying to demonstrate what your game is capable of. The demo separates a couple of things to show off some of the basic mechanics of the game itself, but none of them really give you any time to appreciate them, considering after finishing up that segment of the demo, it instantly goes towards another part of the game that kinda ruins the pacing of the whole thing. Any other demo would have had like a menu showing a variety of things that are available to test, either if it's something like selecting a stage, or maybe wanting to retry parts of the demo with maybe some form of different modifiers to it. Hell, some of you give you extras when completing a demo, or give you alternate things to do in order to get back into the demo if you want to go back to some parts. Dustborn's demo is all in one long lane of stuff, meaning that if there's a certain segment you want to get back to, either if it's a puzzle solving thing, the combat, the dialogue, or the choice deciding stuff, you are forced to go through the entirety of that demo in order to get to the part that you want to get to. It's really goddamn annoying. And again, talking about the pace of the game, which incredibly spoils some parts of the game, while two of the segments are from somewhat the beginning, I think, it feels like the other two were meant for something way more important that you needed way more information on. Like, who's this girl that holds a grudge for this other lady? Who's this old lady telling you some deep twist of sorts about your parents? Really, like, in general, it feels incredibly messy for demo pacing matters. Which makes it more funnier considering that this whole game story is about a group of misfits stealing some sort of MacGuffin that can give them some form of riches to escape the government. By the way, this entire game is all about, like, fuck the government, and like, the government's corrupt, and I hate them all. Despite the fact that the game itself was funded using government tax dollars and grants. Yeah, tell him, John Dustborn. Kill him.
I'm not a big fan of the government. 30 on 30. I'm not a big fan of the government. 30 on 30.
I'm getting off track here. What did I feel about the dialogue of the game?
I want my life back.
Working for pennies in a soulless corporatocracy where you have no right to life, liberty, and freedom.
Terrible. You know how all those games nowadays try to be hip and cool with the modern day kids in terms of how they speak? Some example being something like the new Saints Row game, Forsaken, or Hi-Fi Rush. That's a good game that uses that well. Shh, I'll never say mean things about you, my prince. This game uses the exact same ordeal and adds in politics and more annoying, irritating dialogue that makes the characters look more like the bad guys than the actual villains of this game. Which, may I add, have powers that uses their words as their central abilities. Now that doesn't sound so bad in concept, but the way that they show them in this game is flat out just not fucking great. There's literally a character that's power is called gaslighting in order to manipulate someone's emotions and feelings in order to make them feel something different to how they want to feel. This isn't a joke. That's their ability's name, and that's what they do. And they show you that in the beginning of the game, I believe. Alongside the main character herself, where she can easily manipulate others with her words. It even does so with her friends on occasions. It makes it look like they're in the right for that reason. There's like many moments in the game where you are a complete asshole towards your friends, but the game's like, no worries, they're like the good guy, they're the good person of this scenario. Overall, I can't really say that I can review this game in any solid way, considering I couldn't even stomach going through this game pirated for even 2 hours. If you want to try it, then just go ahead, but just don't go through it thinking that it'll be so bad it's good or find anything good coming from it. You'll go through with nothing but disappointment, as it's a nothing burger of a game. Unreviewable. Not even worth pirating. We are the Dustborn. We are airborne. We're the newborn. We are Dustborn.